Welcome to Comics, the podcast where we talk about comics, me and my mom. Today, we're looking at The Brave and the Bold, number 191. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I think I picked this one mainly for the cover, because Joker apparently killed Penguin.
Good cover. They're wearing the same pants.
Because they're wearing the same pants. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, is he got jealous. And he stole Joker's pants, so they're both wearing like spats. Is that what you call that?
Too. Yeah.
I'm very fancy.
It's always the fat guy that gets it in the in the fashion war.
And Batman is threatening to break his vow of not killing people. He's going to see the Joker hang for it, which... Doesn't the Joker kill like a bunch of civilians all the time, like every time he does things?
Yeah.
But this is a bridge too far. If he kills the penguin, he's got to hang for that.
The little penguin.
I do like the idea that for this team up, instead of being another hero, he's teaming up with the Joker, and I like the Joker icon there.
Yeah. What do you think
with
about
the playing card symbols? That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. What do you think about the color of Batman's cowl and gloves, boots? It's real blue. It's real like royal blue.
I like the blue Batman. I think now they lean into it's like gray and then dark gray.
Yeah.
But I like the blue. It looks good. What do you think?
I do too. It's a point in time. What year is this one?
I think this is 82.
Okay.
I like a lot of the comics we've been looking at around the early 80s. I did notice there's a little bit of pink between the letters there. It's like they didn't fix because there's orange between
and then that's a little mistake.
That's okay though. I like the coloration on the certain words to make them pop. I don't know why he's elbowing. Is he like he's bursting the door open? I guess he's like banging the door with his elbow. Maybe he did that unintentionally. That's why he's so mad. He's like, damn it, that hurt. Right on the funny bone. Let's see. 1982, October.
Okay.
Frogger was all the rage.
The thing.
All right, so we see on the news that the Penguin has interrupted this news broadcast. And I guess one of his things, at least in this issue, I'm not like, of course I knew the Penguin, but I don't think of him that much. He's not my favorite villain, but he makes a lot of bird puns throughout the issue. News hawks. I don't know if that's a real phrase that people use. These news hawks for like journalists or something.
Yeah, good question.
Bird brain, there's one from the Joker. So anyway, the Penguin has a message for Mayor Hill and the city council, but he gets interrupted by Joker.
Who says egad, the Joker?
The Penguin, he wears spats. He can say egad.
He's fancy.
But I guess he says that the Penguin's double dealing days are over, so he was betrayed by the Penguin, he's suggesting. Meanwhile, in another part of town... I like how Bruce is watching this. He's like, holy crap.
Oh.
And Alfred's already got his little limp bat suit in the background.
Yeah, that bat suit looks terrible.
Simultaneously. I know they're compressing time here because they don't want to, like, have every panel, like, spell out the sequence of events. But it's funny that he's simultaneously watching the Penguin get sprayed by the gas from Joker's flower, and Alfred's already ready. Like, he's coming in with the bat suit. It just works out really well, the timing. And by the time the broadcaster finishes saying, gas from that flower, it's some kind of poison. He's already got the bat suit on, and he's jumped out the dang window. So, he's on it. He's quick.
What does that gas do? Look at his lips.
It gives him lipstick.
He's allergic.
It's gaseous lipstick. I do like that shot of the Penguin. His eyes really sell it.
Yeah.
This looks disturbing.
His nose is really good there, too. It's really beak-like.
And then 24 hours later, that's the weird thing to me in this transition between the panels. I do like how the big panel's broken up by these four corners. That's cool. But it says 24 hours later. So he like rushes immediately, seeing this broadcast, he rushes immediately to go check it out. But then the story says 24 hours later he's put his feelers out and nobody knows anything about the Penguin and the Joker's beef or anything. So we have to wait a whole day anyway. But then he sees the Joker symbol. I don't know how he got the red color. And also, he bought this big Joker signal. It's like, if you were manufacturing that, I feel like you'd tell the cops or something. Like, so
Yeah.
I guess maybe there's probably a criminal service that makes stuff like that. Just like he made this car with his face on it.
With the punching.
I know. I like that part. So he hears, "Help, let me out." And he goes to check out the trunk and he gets a big boxing glove. And it turns out that the Joker has a 98-cent device. Throw your voice, fool your friends. And that'll actually be in this issue later on. They have the little order
the ad
sheet
for
all
that's
the little
cool.
toys. I always wanted to order those when I was a kid. I'm glad I didn't because they're probably not very good. But yeah, this is called Only Angels Have Wings.
I wish in the movies they gave them the vehicles.
Maybe they will. I think that's time to go back to the more campy Batman for one movie.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I think there's room for that as well as the more serious, brooding Batman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting, there's 2 writers on this, Michigan and Cone. Jim Apparo's the artist. I really like the art in this one.
I do too.
Version of the Joker.
I like the facial expressions.
It reminds me of the Neil Adams style Joker.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
the purple trench coat and the hat. That's a classic look for Joker to me. That's a good look. So anyway, he had summoned Batman there because he wants to team up and figure out what happened to the Penguin because he claims that it wasn't really him. It was a double. And he's innocent.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know. Batman's a little skeptical, and we'll see what happens.
I like this version of Batman. That's nice. Nice picture.
I like that his eyebrows are strong enough to come through the mask. Show skepticism. Oh, Joker was watching his favorite show, The Three Stooges. I was as surprised as anyone to see that imitation Joker, he says. So, let's see how this transpires. That's a really weird... That to me is more Golden Age Joker, this face. It's a little funky compared to some of the other shots of him. So, Joker's giving his version of events. He says that, yeah, after I saw that on TV, I went to the Penguin's current hideout, hoping he could figure something out, and he saw the phony Joker leaving. And so he's like, well, what if I pretend to be that guy? And I go talk to the other henchmen. He says, say, guys, I forgot to ask, when are we going to get paid? After the funeral, of course. You knew that, Murphy, unless... Wait, you're the real Joker, he says.
They're not that smart. Come on.
I like how the Joker's smoking the cigar, and then he throws it at this guy who draws a gun on him, and it explodes. It's like, what if... he was smoking that cigar knowing that he would have to throw an explosive? What if they had fallen for the ruse, and they're like, oh, yeah, it must be the fake Joker. Would he just keep smoking it?
Maybe it's got a trigger switch on it or something.
It must. Because it's really good timing. But knocks the gun out of his hand.
But you have to have good timing in comedy.
You do. That's his superpower. You might not think Joker has powers, but it's comedic timing, deadly comedic timing. So one of the Penguin's men tried to fly the coop. They're getting more of those bird puns in here. But all 3 of his exhaust pipes poured out this Joker gas. So he'd already doctored the gas tank of his motorcycle. We didn't see that, but yeah, he's... Just like the Batman, that's kind of become the Batman's shtick in the last couple decades, is he's always prepared for any contingency. I guess Joker picked up a tip from him, and he said, well, I must have snuck in off panel and doctored. They make a point, too, later on that he has 3 exhaust pipes all on one side. It makes this little motorbike easily identifiable. It's like, I don't know, it's a weird detail to me of like, do these little motorcycles, is that like a common thing? Oh, I guess that's the point, is it's not, so it makes it easy to identify. But why would a criminal want such an easily identifiable vehicle?
Yeah, right.
The great thing is, though, as he is trying to interrogate Harvey, the remaining goon, he springs a trap, deadly umbrellas. So I guess Penguin has that set up as a contingency plan in his own base, just in case he needs to
Wow.
press the red button and all these spear-like umbrellas will fall down. I'm glad nobody ever pressed it by accident. It seems like an OSHA violation or something. So let's see. The Penguin dodges them.
The Joker.
McGee, yes, excuse me. The Joker dodges the Penguin's traps. McGee gets away. Turns out, though, that it was deadly gas.
Whoa!
So I guess sometimes the Joker's gas is just like knockout gas, and sometimes the Joker's gas kills you.
Wow.
Seems like most of the time it kills you. I guess it was poison after all, Harv. I love his eyes there. It's freakish looking. So that's the end of his backstory. He says, so then I came to you because I didn't know what else to do. Batman, of course, is skeptical, as I said. You said that motorcycle had 3 exhaust pipes all on one side, as I recall.
That's a creepy version of him.
Yeah.
Ew.
I like this too. I was fond of the little foul because Batman's like, why do you even want to figure out the mystery if I guess somebody's impersonating you, but why do you care if the Penguin's dead or not?
Right.
The emotional catch in the Joker's voice might be part of a masterful performance, but the Batman's instincts tell him otherwise. So anyway, they decide to team up for now. The Joker honks his horn because he sees McGee on his 3 exhaust pipe motorcycle come out of the base here. And of course, the Joker's got to try to mess with Batman this whole time. So Batman swings down in broad daylight, finds the 3 exhaust pipe motorcycle parked, and Joker, in his DC Comics branded taxi cab, smashes into the motorcycle. Batman narrowly escapes, and he's like, well, I had to mess with you. It's second nature to me.
What a jerk.
Right. So it turns out this motorcycle was parked outside of the Crook's Clinic. They do everything from removing bullets to changing faces. And if all else fails, it's a funeral parlor, and there's the Penguin dead. And McGee is as shocked as anyone to see them there. So
that's crazy.
He's trying to get Batman to turn on the Joker. Keep him away from me, Batman. He killed the Penguin, and then he started on the rest of the gang. But Batman's not buying it.
Wow.
I like how pathetic the Penguin. He looks genuinely moved that the Penguin has died. So anyway, they don't get very far with McGee here, but they do get to throw his mangled handlebars at him. But the funeral is going to happen at St. Vitus Cathedral, so they go check it out here. And it turned out the Penguin had been making big contributions to the church, and the Monsignor here claims that there's no ulterior motive. He was just trying to do something good. And Cardinal Spinelli, the Pope's special emissary, who has just delivered the holy relics of St. Vitus, will be attending his funeral.
Now I'm suspicious.
Well, in Batman, he becomes even more suspicious because he's like, wait a minute. Vitus is the patron saint of dancers, correct? The Penguin loves to dance. No, he says, and what else? Actors? Yes, both of those. And also comedians. Comedians? Clowns, like the Joker. Could he be after the relics of his patron? So he thinks that there's some kind of double cross in the works. And as he goes to meet up with the Joker, who at his apartment has a giant Joker icon, like on his door, in case
Door knocker.
It's not a very secret hideout. The door was slightly ajar, and of course, acid.
Oh my God!
He propped up a bucket of acid, as you do.
You know, when I went to college, that was a huge prank where people
put acid in.
No, well, not acid, but water. That was like, I can't tell you how many times
Really?
people
Did it happen to
that.
you?
They tried, but you know,
kick the door open like Batman.
yeah, every time. I still do.
That's why you kick every door in. It's just a habit now.
I'll do it
That's
forever.
funny. So let's see. They're at the church then.
Not a big crowd.
I mean, it's the Penguin. They're probably all birds.
You think they're wearing tuxedos?
No. Let's see. Oh, and it's not really apparent why, but based on the silhouette of this nun, Batman's like, wait a minute, it's time to end this charade. And it turns out, this is kind of weird to see the flesh color he's ripping off his face, this mask, I guess. It's the Penguin conducting the boys' choir.
I mean, how could you hide that nose? You know?
Yeah. And he's ready to, he's like, might as well get my top hat out since my cover is blown. They were probably like, why is that nun wearing a monocle?
Oh, right. And spats and...
So he's going to, he threatens the cardinal here, and he makes it clear that there was a wax stand-in that was embalmed at the funeral home.
That looks like a penguin, like he threw off a penguin suit. But it was his nun's habit.
Not a lot of people know that nuns' habits are based off of the penguin. Nuns love the penguin. The penguin is a sacred animal, I think. I'm not Catholic, but let's see. The cardinal, a bird, in case you didn't get it. Once I was sure the Joker had been framed, I realized the whole caper had your signature on it. A signature I could as easily carve on his eminence's neck, Batman. But as he tugs on the cardinal's arm, turns out that he's in disguise as well.
Whoa.
Gotcha, needle nose. Your goose is cooked.
Oh, that's great.
You may have foiled my scheme. I guess they could have said fouled if they keep going with the bird puns. And he uses his umbrella to release birds from the casket. I don't know how they kept the birds quiet, like 100 birds filling up a casket.
Yeah, good point. Unless
They're all
they
just
could be
pooping
mechanical.
in there constantly. Yeah, they must be, because that would be a nasty casket. Anyway.
Bless you.
So, Penguin's trying to make a break for the roof here. I love this little detail. Joker, but I heard you out there. And the Joker spits on his monocle, stomps on his toe, and then gives him the joy buzzer. Another one of his little... that encourages you to buy those in the back, because I guess they shock somebody and debilitate them. I think I actually had one of those, and it would just buzz.
Yeah.
It would, like, vibrate and buzz
and
in
you
your
couldn't
palm.
remember you couldn't grab real hard?
Yeah, it was not, like, I thought it would debilitate my enemies. I was really looking forward to it.
You tried.
Anyway, I never thought I'd say this, but good work, Joker. Even though, if you recall, the Joker even admits this himself. He did kill a man to help help solve this, and he almost killed the Batman. And so, as you do, you lock up the Penguin. He's in cuffs, and Batman does make it clear as he's using that elbow like he does in the cover. This never transpires, but he does use the elbow. Brings it down to the Joker and says, "Our partnership ends here. I'm going to put both of you away. For good, I hope." "That's okay, Bats. Allow me. Let's take him downtown and book him." Gee, I always wanted to say that. So I guess Batman does say that he's going to lock up the Joker, but it's kind of a sudden ending.
Right.
I would have expected the Joker to make a break for it, or him to be like cuffing both of them, or since there's so much double crossing, the Batman would have had one last double cross that both subdued both of them at the same time or something.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a pretty good story. This Lifesavers game is terrible. So you're supposed to pick one of these flavor shooters, and the number of the Lifesavers rolls or lollipops are the score. So if you got this one, you get 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got that one, you got 1. But obviously, this is at the top. That's the first thing you see. So you're just gonna be like, "Well, I'm not gonna pick this yellow idiot because he gets 1." You're supposed to get You're supposed to select 3 and go for the high score. 10 or more points, and you are a winner. Not my favorite in comic book game.
And as we've covered before, not your favorite candy.
Not really, no. Kind of underwhelming. There's a little mini story. I'd never heard of Nemesis, or I didn't remember him anyway. Nemesis is like some kind of detective noir, maybe spy-like. I don't know, because we're in the middle of an ongoing story. So he's about to be shot by the Butcher, this fella here, with the nice psychedelic tie.
Yeah.
I do love the colors, and I really like the art. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, nice.
Adam
and dramatic.
Kubert, letter. I could have swore Adam Kubert later on becomes. Isn't he like a famous artist? I recognize the Kubert because there's the Kubert School, right? That's like a comic art school, I think. Anyway, I love this splash of yellow and red behind. It's really dramatic. Nice. It kind of matches the tie a little bit.
The guys are scruffy.
Yeah, they
Scruffy hair and.
It adds that kind of grit to this type of story to kind of contrast the goofier Batman story. And the red and yellows here in the letters, too. It gives it a nice...
Yeah.
It gives it a nice, like, color theme.
I don't remember this guy.
So this lady distracts the Butcher from shooting our hero, Nemesis, who has, like, the scales of justice are his icon. It's a little corny. But he has the secret little blade, so while he's distracted smacking this woman brutally in the face, Butcher Boston is his name.
This is nice, though, how he overlaps the panel.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how he pops out of there. I also like this weird silhouette. At first, I was like, that's kind of weird. I would expect to see that in, like, a Supernatural, like Doctor Strange or something. But it adds a certain movement or something to it. It makes it pop in a certain way. It's interesting.
Nice
I would never
graphics.
have thought about putting this little halo around everything, a silhouette. So anyway, he gets his little razor knife right in the hand, smacks him. That's a nice action sort of sequence. And again, his head's too big for the panel. It's popping out. Big head, Butcher Boston gets his nose broken and throws a lamp at him. Again, we got that like silhouette thing going on. I like that. That's a cool idea. Butcher gets away, and so we get a little bit of the exposition. It turns out that Butcher is trying to assassinate this lady's husband. You must be Sheffield's girlfriend. And it turns out, I'm not his girlfriend, I'm his wife. And Sheffield is in deep with some kind of gang, and they're trying to use him as the fall guy for some kind of murder that happened in a previous issue. And the Butcher's here to kill Sheffield so they can pin all the blame on him once he's dead. He kind of looks like Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
In this one.
Yeah.
Who voiced the Joker in the cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
So that brings it all together.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know if they're trying to add drama, but he's not my boyfriend. He's my husband. It's like, they still want to kill him. It's not that big of a difference. Anyway, we after the melodrama, we shift to Sheffield himself, who looks kind of like Tony Stark or something like that. And he's like, I got to get out of the country. They're bound to expect me to do that. He's in this hotel. Less like Tony Stark here. He's more like Tom Selleck or something. But then here comes Butcher through the window.
Without his tie.
Yeah, he ditched it. It was too flashy. So he ties him up, and he has this murder weapon. And he's like, the cops will find your dead body here with the murder weapon. But turns out Nemesis was in some kind of goopy makeup. It wasn't really Butcher at all. So our ploy worked, Mrs. Sheffield, thanks to your help in tracking him down. And I might never have found the murder weapon if you hadn't known his hiding place. We were lucky he hadn't had a chance to dispose of it yet. Lucky? Oh yeah, real lucky. Made it that much easier to betray him. Don't feel that way, Mrs. Sheffield. His only chance was to turn state's evidence, get police protection. Sometimes even winning hurts.
Cue violin music.
So these little extra stories,
That was
they
weird.
pack less of a punch when you haven't seen the whole thing, obviously. But I do really like the colors in it. I like the art style. Some of these drawings of the face are so scrunched up, it adds a nice stylization to
Yeah.
it. Makes them look really thuggish.
Yeah.
You can enter the Swamp Thing movie contest, by the way. Did we ever watch that Swamp Thing movie from the 80s?
I believe so.
I could have swore I watched it, but I have
I think
no
I
memory.
went to the theater to see it.
Was it good?
It was an 80s movie.
I always wanted to do this too. I guess you sell things, you earn points, and I guess I was looking at the highest points I could see. If you sell 46 items, you can get this GE AM/FM radio cassette recorder.
Oh man!
If you sell only 8 items, you can get a Magic Snake.
I remember getting a tape recorder for Christmas one year when I was about 10. It was the best present ever. And we started making radio shows. Me and
Really?
my sister. They were really bad.
Do you still have them?
No.
That's too bad. Oh, I stand corrected. You can get this portable TV for 75 items.
Wow.
I'm glad I never did it, though. I was about 5 years too late.
I always
in terms
wanted
of being
walkie-talkies, and unless you spend a lot of money, you're always going to be disappointed in your
Yeah.
walkie-talkies.
They always seem like a cool idea. I guess now they're kind of pretty obsolete with smartphones and everything. I also wanted to point out, impress your friends. Have your hands registered with Department of Hand Registration. Only $3 for impressive certificate to hang on your wall. Order now and receive free wallet-size registration card to carry with you. Send name, address, and $3.
Oh my
Renton,
God.
Washington. I wonder how much they made. A lot of these ads are about fighting or getting tough. Ninjutsu, kung fu, muscles, more
Poems set to
muscles,
music.
self-defense, poems set to music,
Be taller.
unusual stamps.
Yeah. Mile Low comics.
Is that like how people would say I had to get my hands registered as weapons? Is that what it's
Yes,
like? That's
yes.
hilarious.
Oh my
Be
God.
taller. They're really playing on people's insecurities.
Oh
here.
yeah.
Rattlesnake eggs. Fool your friends. Also, this, not enough information. Zombie the Record, only $3 plus $1 shipping. No idea. I would like to know what it is. It Zombie by the Cranberries? I don't get it. So I'd like to hear that record.
Wow. Or the Zombies. It could have been.
Yeah, it could be time of the season or something. Who knows? But anyway, that's the end of it. Oh, we got a cool little mini Dungeons and Dragons. Issue here. Not a huge fan of this art style, but it looks alright.
Well, it was of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, overall, nice to see them working together on something. And nice to see, even though he does kill someone, the Joker's a little more lighthearted. I do like the more gritty depictions of the Joker, like the Joaquin Phoenix movie and stuff, but it's nice to have different versions. You
Yeah,
know?
I
do
like the vehicle.
goofier.
The vehicle was cool.
Yeah, you'd never see Joaquin driving around in that.
Oh my God. And it's nice to see
Or maybe you will. That would be
the
nice.
penguin trying to be clever,
He's trying. I wouldn't say he succeeds. It's nice to see him in lipstick, too. Even the
It's a
car
nice
has
ride.
lipstick.
It's a nice ride.
Did it record?
Yep, 28. Oh. Okay, so for my comic this time, I chose this really old one. It's a little battered and stuff, and it was something I'm not familiar with. I guess I'd have to say that I really wasn't familiar with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm more familiar with the new Guardians than I ever was with the old Guardians. But I love the cover. All these different
You don't
characters.
recognize Groot?
There is no Groot.
They were a big fan of head fins.
Of head fins.
Everybody in space needs a
and
fin on their
People
head.
being smooth.
that,
you had to
yeah.
be smooth or
Either
have a
smooth or
head-
fin, no, nothing else.
Except for the big guy, which was really funny when I looked
I love
at
this
this.
frog
I
energy
know.
monster. That's cool.
When
he
I
could
picked this-
devour the universe.
Yeah, when I
Yikes.
picked this cover, I'm mainly was drawn in by the colors in the background, and the white was just what it was like. I didn't see him as a threat until I
like
had to
his
look.
purple eyes.
I
That's a
know,
cool
he
touch.
looks intense.
And this is only issue 4, so this is pretty early. And I
25
think
cents?
is this the first series of Guardians of the Galaxy? It's not like a reboot or anything?
No, this is an old comic. It's
25 cents. I wish
It's
comics were
in rough
like-
shape. Me and Grandma used to collect anybody's comic. If people were in the family were done with their comics, they'd go in our collection.
1976.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a little bit older than some of the ones we've been looking at recently.
Yeah.
You can get a monster record for 95 cents.
Air car.
I was looking at
Finally.
this, kind of disturbing. For $1.95, you can get a hypnotizing record. You can learn hypnotizing in minutes. Side 1 is self-hypnotism. Control bad
Whoa.
habits, improve personality, memory. Improve your personality with this.
Dang it.
Side 2 hypnotizes subject and turns control over to you. Once you hear record, you can hypnotize people without record or any aid except your voice. With book.
Improve everybody's personality.
Yeah, that's a big claim. I know, like, all of the products are kind of junk or just some goofy thing. But that's a bold claim to make. You can hypnotize anyone without the record once you learn the technique.
Yeah.
There's an automatic hypnotizer.
For what purpose?
It's 45 cents less. So if you can't afford the record, you can get this little disc that spins. Comes with a 224-page book.
Check that out. The USS Enterprise bridge.
There's a lot of Star Trek stuff. There's a Star Trek coin.
The spaceships.
In the society where they don't have any money in Star Trek, coins are just commemorative. And it says, the show that TV could not cancel lives forever. That's not the most glowing way of putting it. They couldn't even cancel this one as much as we want them to.
One season, doesn't it? The original?
I think it's 2, but yeah, it's a short-lived thing.
Funny.
It's goofy. I'm not as huge of a Trekkie, so I'm not sure 76. Was there a movie by then? Do you remember?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it had come out then, but I could be wrong. It's before my time.
Yeah, no, that was 76. That was around right before or right around Star Wars.
Okay.
So.
Also, how the heck do you bend
wait a
your
minute.
neck? Like, how do you tilt your head when your fin that attaches the top of your head goes all the way down to your back? Is it like it must be stretchable or something?
Nice point.
But yeah, he's like the only character from the modern one,
Yeah,
Yondu.
he's the only guy I recognize. And we open with Yondu back on his home planet. They had to brought his entire team back so that he could worship at the planet of his choice, which was
Centauri 4, looks like.
Yeah, and this guy here, who doesn't look like the Brain Trust, says he's the only Centaurian to survive the Badoon invasion, Vance, the only living product of his customs and culture.
Logically.
Yes, I can't even say it, and I'm making fun of him. But
I like those green flames.
look at this, the carnage on his home planet.
Yeah, dang. Even the Centauris have a bone for that fin. Look at that little bone on top of the skull.
So it's got to be a bone that runs down into his spine, but then, yeah, you're right.
What's the point of it?
How do you,
Just to look
it
cool?
stretches?
Does he have the arrow in this version, do you remember? Like the telekinetically controlled?
We'll see, but I mean, here's a quiver right here. But
that's such a cool part of the new
the whistling,
Yondu,
yes.
especially in the second one when he's trying to escape and he summons that arrow.
Yes.
That was great.
So then, as they're speaking, everything starts to shake. It starts to rain, and I love the writing in this. You could tell it's an old comic because the writing is great. From the sky. Let me see if I can read that. From the sky of the dead world, life-giving rain pours in torrents.
Nature's tears. And an ant comes from out the rain-splashed soil. You know how ants love the rain.
But it's a
Space
sign
ants,
to
too.
Yondu. He's like, life is drawn to me. And so he decides that it's not his time to join his fellow
Centaurians.
Centaurians and turn to dust. And so he activates the
Teleport ray.
Yeah, the teleport ray, and the whole team
It's
teleports up.
pre-programmed teleport.
Well, yeah.
I have to specify. I didn't just program this. I did it before we got here.
Batman did it for me. He's always one step ahead.
Also, doesn't your body get cold if you got no shirt on? Like, just dress for the occasion. He's just got these 2 X straps. He's got a
They're
chafe.
thermal.
Yeah.
Isn't it mumbo jumbo, Vance? That's one of the first things the Earth's colonists learned. There was a strange, almost mystical relationship between the land and the people of Centauri 4. Oh, look at his head fin.
Yeah.
That's
It's going to be impractical if you're going through doorways.
Yeah.
It's all wavy there. See it?
It's making connection. I love, oh, swell. Suddenly I'm traveling with the gurus of the galaxy. Ha ha ha. Then somebody, goo, what? Skip it.
This guy is just like Crystal Ice Man. Let's be real.
He is. But it's
Iceman.
It's, as I learned, he's from Pluto, and all the Plutonians have the faceted skin. It helps them with the heat and...
This is before they told him that they didn't live on a planet, I guess.
Oops, sorry. And here we go, more bodybuilding.
Oh, God, I don't want my arm to look... Even his wrist has a bicep. Is that...
Ew,
they have to
that's
put this arrow, like,
gross.
your elbow will turn to be about there.
And look how it... Ooh.
He looks like he's from that Venom comic. Where,
Oh,
like, in the
yeah.
90s, they draw... Even your muscles have their own muscles.
Maybe that's where they got
sub-muscles.
the idea. When I was a kid,
His
muscles
other
had
arm
muscles.
is normal. This one.
I remember all these graphics from the 70s.
That's
They were-
Boogie. Be nice to me. I had a hard day. Oh.
Do unto others, then split. Pinball Wizard. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the whole trucking thing.
Was
This
an
was kinda
iron-on
cool.
transfer, was that an effective way to get a design on a shirt? Like, did it look that good, or was it in black and white, or what? How
No,
did that
yeah,
work?
yeah. Well, and these are iron transfers. Yeah, so they. I mean, if you got this shirt professionally done, this guy's something.
So it
dude.
was like made of fabric, and you attached it to the
You
shirt?
iron it on, and then
Really?
peel off the backing, and. But I don't know. There was a lot of weird little crafty stuff in the 70s. Really, really weird. So anyway, they're back on the ship, and
Hey, Captain America.
yeah. So what in his room, the windows, everything is painted to make him feel more comfortable being back in New York, or the Socrates, circa 1975.
Oh, I see.
In
They're in the
s-
31st century.
Yeah.
That's another huge difference between the modern
And
Guardians.
I'm not familiar with this lineup of Guardians, but it's really inspired me to go back and look and see what their powers were.
So that's Starhawk, I think.
It is
This guy, that's Starhawk. And this is
Vance.
this Major Vance or whatever
believe
his name
so.
is? I believe so. Yeah, it was open
Yeah,
Major.
human. Yes.
We got Major, we got Starhawk, we got Yondu. Oh, and he does have
And
his arrow there.
He does have an
he
arrow.
carries it
Yep,
around.
yep. And so he goes back to his room, and then
He was like a
Starhawk
huge
comes
fan
in.
of Captain America, apparently.
Well, back in the day, I mean,
He's got a picture of him. He's got a poster. He's got a life-size replica that's walking towards him. He's got
He's
these
like-
giant books, freestanding, human-sized books.
It's like the Seinfeld episode. You have to spot the little
There's a
the
little,
little Captain America in his
Yeah,
room.
exactly.
But anyway, Starhawk comes in and they talk, and he's pretty aggressive. I mean, he answers
Psychokinetic burst.
Yeah.
Vance Astro, that's his name.
and this Starhawk. I'm not sure what this panel is about because it's a male and female kind of energy there. I don't know, and that's the risk you take when you just grab a comic from a long box or and you have no clue what's going on. But I'd have to say the writing and the storytelling bring you into the story, and you don't feel like you're missing something, because I could easily look up what's going on with that. And so anyway, they're talking about their mission. And Starhawk, he's singing, and
I like this. I've killed before, Major, and only once with any slight remorse.
he grits his teeth. Yeah, and this one who knows is all too acutely cognizant of that fact. Outside in the ship's corridor alone, his solid veneer cracks ever so slightly. Quite by accident, Vance Astro has seen beneath the surface of things, and the being called Starhawk is disturbed.
Got a little lazy with the background on this one.
Oh,
or maybe
yeah.
putting these gold floor panels in would be weird looking with the word
Yeah.
rectangles. I don't know.
So I'm not sure what the tension is between Starhawk and Vance. But then we're back into the onto the deck, or yeah, that would be the deck, right, of the ship.
Yeah, they're on a spaceship, I think.
And
Martin X, that's our
that's
Iceman clone.
the Plutonian, yes. And Charlie, so that has to be Charlie.
Chaplin? I don't know what Charlie.
Was it
that would
Charlie
be.
27?
Oh, okay.
So you're growing impatient to learn what trouble Starhawk expects to find there. As would I, if not for this opportunity to scan the various star systems on our way for, and then he's Martin X, Charlie, there's something, an object before us. Look in our path. Look here. So Yondu.
More ads. You
More
get one of
ads.
those switchblade combs. I always wanted one of those.
I always
as a
wanted one of
kid.
those too. Or you could be a vet assistant.
Oh.
Be a leper. Or
Be a leaper. Wow.
and
They did not put much effort into that.
that was the days
Stop
before
making
Jordan.
mistakes in English. Maybe I should work for that company. Live seahorses, $2.98.
we
Dead
did.
seahorses, $1.
We did order what were those
Sea monkeys?
Sea monkeys. Yes, we got sea monkeys.
Oh my god!
When I was
Did
a
you
kid.
like them?
They were just these little tiny things that would swim around. They're like little shrimp or
very
something.
cool.
Yeah, it was a disappointment. So anyway,
There's Charlie screaming out. It does really look like a Star Trek type ship, doesn't it?
it does. It does. I love the backgrounds, and so they see what's going on. He's Holy Harkov. We're under attack. Click on the force screens, Marty, fast. And so they bring up, and here she is right here.
That's a cool character.
This is a
She's got
very
flame
cool.
hair.
Yeah,
Like an
and
elf or
don't come any
something.
closer. Stop right where you are, or I'll blast your atoms halfway to Antares. I swear I will.
A Mercurian. And a kid.
Yeah. And her name, she calls it too. I know a Pluvian and a Jovian when I see them. And we're the last of our subspecies of humans, as you must be of yours. Incredible. So this guy who's all muscles is like the brain of the group too.
I guess that's somewhat similar to the New Guardians. They're all last of their species. I don't think that's true of the New Guardians, but they're all like misfit, like one-of-a-kind characters. Well, at least we've only seen one Groot and one
Groot.
Rocket Raccoon.
And one, what's his name? The
Drax, the Destroyer? Is he the last of his?
I don't
I know his
know. I
family
mean,
got killed, but
right,
it's
so-
similar anyway.
So you're alone and so young. How did you survive? And not germane. The question is, will her presence hamper our performance on our present mission? He's so serious.
Yeah.
I don't know his deal. He's like aggressive and serious, and yeah, I'm gonna have to look up and see if we have the rest of this little story series.
Can't even figure out her name.
And she goes here, I was 11 years old when my parents were cut down right in front of my eyes.
Jeez.
And when I had to choose between dying with those I loved or taking the helm of my own fate, not to mention the family spacecraft, not to mention the car, and get out alive. So here you see the bad guys.
Ooh, it's the lizard from Spider-Man.
It's really
He's got a hunchback.
creepy. So she decided, of course, to escape. And she knew how to pilot the ship, but not where. If the Badoon had reached Merc, they'd already have gotten past Earth. So she headed away, and she just headed straight out. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't. And then we have more ads.
More ads. Too many ads.
Give a medallion to the one you
On
love.
a keychain. Or as a
Oh,
necklace.
it's a hawk.
Coins were all the rage, I guess, in the 70s. You get Star Trek coins, Hulk
This
coins.
is so unreal. I mean, make money customizing cars, vans, cycles, buggies, inside and out.
You learn inside customizing, too.
That's just crazy. Giant lifelike karate practice dummy.
They really
99
know
cents.
their audience is they need to learn how to fight. They're like, all these dweebs reading comics need to learn karate.
Look at the graphic.
Oh
It's
my
a
god.
chariot.
You don't want that on the side of your car?
I do. I do.
It's like Spartacus or something.
Oh, so here we go. What is this over there?
Beans. Space beans.
Space beans. So she comes across a
Ooh,
ship.
I like that skull. That's
Yeah.
creepy.
Everybody's dead, but she does learn to survive, and she takes what she can. And her
name's Nikki.
Nikki, which is such a weird little Earth name. And so according to your log tapes.
I like the briefing room of Captain America. They still watch like a projector.
Oh wow, yeah. It's all on the
It's a
tapes.
slideshow. That's funny.
That's pretty cool. And so, according to your log tapes, the planets you're describing lay directly along our course to the galaxy center. So they're headed to the center of the galaxy. I presume, Starhawk, that more than coincidence is at work here. That is correct. Yes. He's so serious.
Great dialogue.
I know. And so they're trying to figure out what this force that they're feeling is. And then
Oh, well. I like that punctuation. You got to get an exclamation point for each word.
far be it from me to shout down the Khalil Gibran of the stars. That's an odd reference,
Wow.
isn't it? That's
What is Khalil Gibran?
he's an author.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah,
not familiar
of,
with that person.
It's like poetry-ish type.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Poetry? Type-ish?
Set to music.
I love this character design.
Yeah, and then even I have been unable to determine its exact nature. But from all I've deduced, the planets it's consumed thus far have merely whetted its appetite.
So Galactus
So
isn't the only one eating planets.
No, this big marshmallow dude. Look at his toes. He's got little feet. They're curled
The
there.
planets are so close together. I feel like they're going to run into each other.
He's like, I fear, my friends, it sustains itself on the energy of exploding galaxies.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they should have brought that thing back to fight him. So here you have some more backstory. And
Oh, is this Starhawk's backstory it looks like?
yeah. And Alita has just as much power as a Starhawk. You'll see. She can do anything he can do, and he can't do anything without her. And so it goes on to say, oh, my glasses are fogging up. So it gives his backstory and brings in Alita.
Oh, so they share
The
a body
body.
or something like that?
How good it feels to command it again. So how thrilling the rush of air into the lungs. So yeah, she has power right
Starhawk
now.
can change his gender, I guess.
And then Big Blue.
That's pretty.
But Starhawk, when it's the male version of Starhawk, his quarters are just bare.
That's a pretty interesting character idea for the
It
70s.
is. I really have to look into this because look, it's almost like the changing affects him.
Yeah.
And so someone is coming to speak with him.
Spider-Man versus Superman, really? The battle of the century, I think, be over in like 5 seconds.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm rooting for Spider-Man. I like Superman, but I like Spider-Man. Even
I don't
more.
like the fights where the person fighting is all powerful,
Yeah, that's
holds
what I
all the
mean.
cards. It's just,
You gotta root for the underdog.
I mean, Spider-Man is smart too, so he'd probably make some webbing out of some Krypton or,
Hey,
you
there
know.
go. Well, I like
He
that
knows.
it's billed as the greatest superhero team-up of all time and the battle of the century. And that's so many of those. Just like last episode, Batman and Doctor Strange, it starts with some misunderstanding where they fight and then they team up. You gotta have them fight, then team up.
Yeah,
First you fight, then you team up.
Even among friends though, like Sasquatch and Ben Grimm. First they
you
fight, then they team up. And Johnny and Ben, they always fight. They always
Is that
end up in
the
a fight.
end of it already? We're in the letters page already?
I know.
Kind
It
of
starts with another character, probably Vance, Big Blue.
Oh,
And that's
continued
it.
after
Continued
next.
after.
There
next
must be. We must be flipping the.
page.
Is there something here?
We're going.
Do we have 4 pages of
4
ads?
pages
oh
of
my
ads.
god, there's more ad than comic in this one. Oh, they have classic illustrated. I used to like those. Hunchback of Notre
yeah.
Dame, Time Machine, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah. So then you have it. And your door was open this time, Bright Eyes, so I figured I'd barge right. Oh my God! Major Astro! This is a surprise!
Why does his clothes get so much skimpier? Just because he's changing?
Into a girl.
And why does he have an American flag? They got America in the 31st century space?
They have Earth is known and
Space is now America. It's been claimed for America.
So anyway, they have their little hop down off of the pedestal. You've been
You've been holding out on us, haven't you, Papa?
his face.
That's funny.
That whole
That's a weird thing to call him, Papa.
that whole thing is strange, and this whole relationship between Starhawk and Vance is interesting, and having him become her, that makes it even more interesting. So I'm really interested in looking at more into this group, this lineup. But anyway, then all of a sudden, Starhawk, Vance, tie into the bridge, and he's Astro here, and this better be good. You've no idea what you've interrupted, so that's weird. And then this guy is running up to the bridge and everything, and we found our termite. Look at that thing. That's Void.
Dang.
The Void. And you've got the
You
ship
could see
here.
him eating the panels on the reverse
Ooh,
other
yeah.
page.
That's weird. That's weird.
That's kinda
We
cool.
shall know more after I investigate. Like, this is the size of your ship compared to your foe. And you're going to investigate.
Wow. I would run.
And he said, I told you, Major, its true nature is indeterminate. It may be that this is only part of the creature, or perhaps its
Oh,
spawn.
God. I told you so. That's what you want
So-
to hear, right, when you see that thing.
It's a baby galaxy eater.
Ugh.
And we cannot exclude the possibility the creature can occupy more than one place at a time. So that's terrifying.
Hey, Planet of the Apes meets Spider-Man. It's the greatest team up of all time.
Dr. Zayas.
Free 1 million cash. Fool all your friends.
More poems and upholstery.
So many of these things are just like very easy to see through jokes.
This would have been cool, though. Look at all these guys.
I watched like a little documentary or something one time about this. how to write, sell, and publish your own songs. Like people would they would send in lyrics, and there was a service where they'd write a song based on the lyrics that people sent in. Like, have you always wanted to? I think that's what that is. Have you always wanted to make a hit song?
Oh, wow.
And you would send some money away to these people with your lyrics, and they would adapt it
Write
with a
the
melody
music?
and everything. It's kind
Wow. Wow. So then in the teleport room, you've got everybody getting ready. And here's hoping, speaking of functions, that biocoder is in working order. All this heroism is useless if it doesn't send back the readings we need. Really? So there he goes. Off. The power of the creature, even in repose, is enormous. So this guy's just floating away.
He's
And
sweating.
look at that. What is
Is that in the reflection of his spacesuit or something? But he doesn't have a helmet on. Maybe there's a screen on his. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a. Maybe there's a screen on his mask.
Because, I mean, that thing.
Faceplate or something, like a transparent one.
The energy field about its non-form batters the mystery man as he approaches, twisting and warping the gleaming golden sails. So his sails, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that design.
And his stomach, a cloying, creeping nausea clutches at his gut. The very essence of the monstrosity is repugnant, even to this being who has lived among uncounted inhuman alien species. So that thing is just being in its presence. It seems like it's like sapping energy, or if it takes the energy of the galaxies, then it's gonna.
Ooh, it has like an ice tongue.
Ew.
It's grabbing him.
Ew. And yes, I'm sure the biocorders. That's weird.
Yeah.
Working just perfectly. It's just this creature isn't energy or matter, solid or liquid, alive or dead. It is Carinata, the emptiness that devours. My people foresaw its coming and named it countless eons ago. And so Vance is like, oh, come on. I thought we left the mumbo jumbo behind on Centauri 4.
Damn.
He's
he
so
really doesn't
serious.
respect his culture, does he?
No, and in the new version of Yondu, you don't get this mysticism.
No, not at all.
And I don't
More
know.
of a pirate.
I don't know if they can do flashbacks to as.
Maybe they'll flesh out his character.
Yeah, that would be really interesting, because I like the whole Centaurian storyline.
Yeah.
So Starhawk is still battling, the only one out there fighting, and it's pure cold. Yondu continues, not merely the absence of heat, it is total paralysis, cessation of movement, not merely in the limbs, but the soul as well. So this thing is crazy. And those who do not possess within themselves the essential element of spirit, Carinata's opposite. Here we get a little clue on how to defeat it. And then Spidey's...
The cupcake cape?
Yes. I love that graphic.
That's a weird polka dot shirt. I don't know
Oh,
about that.
MJ. Yeah. Oh, this is funny.
Hostess cupcakes.
No sweat, Peter. The Hostess cupcakes you left me with were a lot more rewarding to me than you've ever been. That's a
Who
weird...
could forget the classic villain Man Mountain Marco?
What?
Mountain Marco.
That's funny. Don't look now, Marco. But the mountain just became a molehill. Oh, Spidey. And MJ, she's real passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
He was like, brother, if she
She gets
only
angry
knew.
when she doesn't get her Hostess cupcakes.
Watch out. So here we go. Starhawk's still out there. He looks like he's losing, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say he's not winning that one.
And then, I've lost Starhawk. The biorecorder stopped transmitting. No signal at all. It didn't burn out. It just died. Lost energy until it gave up. Karanda! So that's a new word. Choom. So now the ship, it's coming at the ship. good Lord, the thing's coming after us. We got to get the ship out of here, out of its attack range. There's a place in the universe far enough, everybody, to your stations. Move. So what are they going to do? Just leave Starhawk out there?
Start ripping the ship apart, apparently.
If Fido makes a move.
It's cancer spreading through the ship's system. That's why he's doing something to the ship.
This Vance is funny. If Fido makes a move, I want to know about it before he does. That's really like old-time Earth kind of talk, you know? Look at this thing out there.
20th century.
It's no good, Vance.
Does he have eyebrows now?
Yes.
He's mad.
Look at them. They've got substance. The meters are running wild. The creature's blast has infected the ship circuit somehow. We're burning ourselves up from the inside out. And so they're trying to, tear the ship apart, get the cancer out. And then I'm afraid we've seen the last of our living enigma, Vance. The unmanned biorecorder hurling towards us would suggest he lives no more.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Starhawk.
Next, Planet of the Absurd. So I don't know. I mean, is this a setup for the loss of Starhawk, or?
Oh, no. He's probably okay.
He's okay. That guy looks cute. That's really strange, though, because he is kind of a cute, evil little dude. But, I mean, he's huge.
In that one, yeah. He's...
But like how they describe him, he's not hot, he's not cold, he's not big, he's not small. He's, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. I wonder what its name is.
I think it's Carinata, remember?
Well, yeah, but that just, I don't know.
Maybe he has a name for himself that he goes by.
Yeah, I always wanted this. Because I just pictured that storage box to be like an army, and it was probably just cardboard.
Probably.
And then the secret to teaching yourself music.
Oh. Why keep depriving yourself of the thrill of making your own music?
You could learn guitar, pick style, piano, or spinet organ.
I bet that was a popular choice.
My grandma had a spinet organ.
What is a spinet organ?
It's like one of those ones, it's back in the day. And it had pre-programmed stuff. It was like this little organ, and you turn it on, and it made a noise, just like this hum kind of the, I don't know, not a motor, but it just had this hum about it. And then you'd play it, and it was plastic, and it was hilarious. But and some of them had, like, you could do trumpet or flute or piano.
That's cool.
Or organ, but
so like a keyboard type.
Kind of like a keyboard, but really early days. It was kind of the kind of stuff you'd find in Vinnie's nowadays.
Hey, you could get your certificate in spinet organ music instruction from LaSalle Extension University.
Oh my gosh. In Chicago.
You could either do law for police officers for executive development or law for executive leadership. For writing, you could major in fiction or nonfiction. In art training, you can do complete training.
Why?
Or nothing else. There's no other option. It's either complete or nothing. A lot of them are like that, complete training.
Banking and finance. Hotel management.
Stenotype.
That's great. It asks your age. We should copy this and send it in. Age 60, 68.
Over 2 million ambitious men and women in its many courses.
That's crazy. So anyway, I kind of feel like this issue, I was a little rough at because I was not familiar with the characters, but it is really interesting to know that the Guardians of the Galaxy was this fully formed team back in the day. And I wonder why it died out. I wonder why, like they rebooted it.
Yeah, who could forget characters like Vance Astro and Charlie something?
Nikki.
This would be way better than the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Nikki
or Gamora. Groot or Charlie.
I'm sure it's got its own merits, but yeah, like you said, coming into the middle of it, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have to dig out the other issues we have in this series, and it'll all
Yeah.
come together, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'd like to know what
I love
people...
the frog monster, the energy frog. That's the best part of it, probably.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, it leaves it up in the air as to whether Starhawk is alive or dead or what's going on.
Hopefully
But-
dead.
Anyway, if you like this episode, subscribe, send us comments on any book you'd like to see. If you'd like us to look into, teams that don't exist anymore, we could do that.
If you didn't like it, subscribe. That'll show us. Give us a like.
There you go.
All right.